The Calgary Flames are doing the impossible and find themselves in a playoff spot with less than 20 games to go, and it can almost all be credited to one man. Rookie sensation Dustin Wolf is carrying this entire franchise on his back, and after a record-breaking shutout against the Montreal Canadiens, Wolfie is once again in strong contention for the Calder Trophy. Can Wolf lead the Flames to the playoffs and maybe more? We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and let's hop in and talk about last night's game. The Flames were finally back in Cowtown, playing at the Dome once again after what seemed like forever on the road. Welcomed the Montreal Canadiens, who were kind of in a similar position to Calgary, maybe overachieving slightly, getting into that playoff mix, and this was a big game for both teams, and one man shone brighter than everyone else. That was, of course, Dustin Wolf, as the Flames got the 1-0 win. And so many people will see that and say, wow, that must be a boring soccer type score. This was actually a very, very exciting game. There were tons of chances, lots of big saves. There were some, a bit of aggression, some scuffles going on. It was a really, really good 1-0 game. And I mean, when it comes to the standings, this was obviously absolutely huge for the Flames. So like I said in the intro, this was actually a record-breaking shutout for Dustin Wolf, as Dustin Wolf's 3 shutouts in 2024-25 is the Flames' rookie franchise record. So Dustin Wolf is the first rookie goalie in Flames franchise history to record 3 shutouts in a season. That is absolutely incredible. And this has kind of been a long time coming. We saw how good he was in the WHL. We saw especially how good he was once he was our property down in the AHL with the Wranglers. I mean, MVP of the entire league, goalie of the year a couple times. He was sensational. Last year came in a little bit, didn't do phenomenally because he kind of came in once the Flames had no more defense sort of thing. But this year he is literally single-handedly taking this team into the playoff race and could take them into the playoff hunt. If we did not have Dustin Wolf, I'm even going to go as far as saying if we still had Jacob Markstrom, we would be nowhere near the place we are right now. And what did it take for Wolf to get his 3rd shutout of the year? Well, he made all 26 saves on the 26 shots that Montreal threw his way. Absolutely amazing to see. Once again, he just gets it done. He plays so well at home for the most part. It's just such a pleasure to watch him play in that red jersey, hearing the fans howl whenever he makes a big save. Nothing is cooler than that. If we get into the skaters who got on the score sheet, Joel Farabee once again staying hot. He gets the only goal in this whole game. Bax and Weegar getting the assists on this one. Coleman also did a lot of work on that goal as well. And that line has actually been clicking. I thought, in that game against Philly, the biggest win the Flames had over their road trip, I thought that line just didn't seem to gel all that much. Farabee played pretty good, but I didn't think the chemistry was there. But the past couple of games, they've been amazing. Farabee is looking really, really good, which is great to see and overall amazing to see there. If we get into a little standings update now, the Flames are in that second wild card spot now. The Canucks still do have a game in hand, and they actually have a scheduled win tonight against the Dallas Stars, as Dallas was in Edmonton last night and Vancouver did not play yesterday at all. So a tired Stars team is kind of what the Flames need them to pull something out. Hopefully Rantanen can go crazy. But yeah, the Blues are also there right as well. They are also on 69 points, just 1 point back of the Flames, but they have played the most games out of anyone in the race right now. Utah, they're sort of coming up, but kind of not. It'll be interesting to see if they truly do make a playoff push. Same thing with Anaheim. They were really hot. Now they're kind of falling back down to earth, now 9 points out of a playoff spot. But hey, the Flames, they're only 3 points behind LA as well. LA still has a couple games in hand, but it is going to be a very fun race as we go through March into April as well. But let's get into the impossible part, as the Flames kind of really are doing the impossible here. No one expected them to be in this kind of race for the playoffs, even close to the playoffs, and of course, that has to do with Dustin Wolf. But I'm going to start this chapter of this video with kind of a nice little, joke here, but also a little spark of optimism going into next year. So Matchsticks and Gasoline, they tweeted out the 2025-26 outlook. So what's next season going to look like? Well, Dustin Wolf will hold opponents to 2 goals or less every game. Zane Parekh will set spread up 2 to 3 goals a night. Profit. The Flames are going 82-0-0. They're going to be completely carried by Wolf and Perek. This team's going to go undefeated next year. That was a good way to do it. That truly is the impossible. I mean, we're never going to see an undefeated team, but that's, just a spark of optimism knowing that we have young prospects. Well, Wolf isn't even a prospect anymore. He's one of the best goalies in the league, I would be, inclined to say. Call me biased, but it's just wonderful to see. The true impossible that the Flames are doing, of course, is staying in this playoff hunt. And if we take a look at a little article here, it was from the Calgary Herald. They posted after every game, 3 things from the previous game. So this was one. So Wolfie, he played unbelievable. Get all those words in there. Impossible, unbelievable, anything like that. A sleep-in and a shutout. That's a darn good day. With a 5 p.m. Mountain Time puck drop, the Flames didn't hold a morning skate Saturday, although there would have been volunteers to fire a few pucks if the 23-year-old Wolf figured it would be best to stick close to his usual routine. But I mean, already, what a great day. When you're a hockey player, you're up early every single morning, a little sleep-in after a long road trip before playing a game. Oh my goodness, that's just wonderful to see. I loved these quotes here in the, Wolf is unbelievable thing. So Cole Caulfield, of course, switched his number 13 for Johnny Gaudreau. Nothing but love for him here. But this is what he had to say. We had our looks, had our chances. Credit to Wolfie. He played unbelievable. The way he competes, it's pretty special. So when your opposing team's, arguably best player, best goal scorer is out there really congratulating the goalie, saying how good he was, you had a good game. And for anyone who didn't watch that game, Wolf honestly made some absolutely incredible saves. It was kind of impossible in a way. It was so nice to see. It doesn't feel like hyperbole to suggest that Wolf's next start is the biggest of his young career. He will undoubtedly be between the pipes for Wednesday's showdown with the Canucks, the final head-to-head of the season between these wild card hopefuls. If you think it's hyperbole to use words like unbelievable and impossible, I mean, that is just how it is right now for the Flames and for Wolf. And going into Wednesday, that is going to be arguably the biggest game of the entire year. You think back to the very first game of the season. Remember, Anthony Mantha was amazing. Zary scored that wonderful OT winner. It was all against Vancouver, and that kind of set the tone for the year in the way. Who thought we'd be competing with the Canucks? But there you go. Next part of just last night's game, one of the 3 things. So clutch contribution. Blake Coleman was skunked on Saturday's scoring summary. A shame, because he was key to Farabee's second goal in as many games, cruising and spinning past the crease at just the right time. As Montreal's masked man can attest, he doesn't make much of a window, but it was important. That's something that won't show up on the score sheet or anything like that, but I probably don't score if he doesn't do that, Farabee said. He's a real smart player. He knows exactly where to be, to have the mindset to flash screen there. Only really smart guys are able to do that, so it's a real credit to him. Pickles knows how to get in the way. It was wonderful to see. Obviously, as we saw before in the video, did not get an assist on the play, but again, Farabee would not have scored if Coleman hadn't done what he did. So amazing to see that line doing so well. And one final thing, take that, Torts. It was Farabee's second snipe of the night. At least some will interpret it that way. After scoring Saturday's game-winning goal, Farabee was asked about the opportunity to be on the ice to close it out in the final minute and mentioned that his former boss, John Tortorella, didn't seem to have faith he was up for that challenge. It's a real treat, honestly, Farabee said. I started my career in Philly as a guy that would go out there in the last minute, and then when Torts came in, that was no longer. The Flames are happy to rely on Farabee now. You know, the Backlund-Coleman line has always been a more defensive line in a way, but Farabee on that as well. Huska has put his trust in Farabee, in Beezer. It's so great to see. He gets the credit for the goal, of course, gets the game winner, and is out there at important times. Wonderful to see more and more as the days progress. It really does seem like the Flames won the trade with the Flyers, especially since Philly traded away Kuzmenko for just a third-round pick. So overall, great to see, and, you know, as Flames fans, we like to say, take that, Torts. Now let's get into the comment of the day, as we love to do here on the channel, to wrap up this video. And this was a very interesting comment. It's a good way to look at things, and it comes from One Fell Swoop, and they said the Devils are looking like they're gonna fall apart by the end of the season, and we have their pick. So if we miss, the season may not be a waste. If the Flames just miss out on the playoffs or make the playoffs and get knocked out right away, we obviously do not get our first round pick. It goes over to Montreal instead. But the way the Devils are playing right now, the kind of trade deadline they had, the Jack Hughes injury, they're not exactly looking phenomenal. Jacob Markstrom isn't playing all that well. This just seems like a Jacob Markstrom hate video. I actually love Marky a lot. But either way, it is one way to look at things. We could, we don't love to prey on another team's downfall, especially a team that we don't really have, any sort of rivalry with. They're in the other conference and anything like that. But hey, the Devils start to slip. That is a good thing for us. So maybe that is what we are hoping for. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.